What is up, everybody? Hope all y'all doing well out there tonight. Got another video for you, the Wednesday night video. I'm really going to try to start getting 3 videos out a week. 2 videos a week is a little bit of work, depending on what I got going on and all, but I'm going to try to push to get 3 out a week. I'm getting enough subscribers now and enough interest to where I think it's something that I can do and something I'm going to try and do. So I got lots of ideas in my head for different things that I want to talk about and want to go over, and just things I think will help you catch more fish, help you be more efficient when you're fishing. And that's kind of what tonight's video is about. I got a little cubby hole right up in front of my trolling motor pedal, right beside where my tool holder is. It's about this big, about that deep. And I got a bunch of stuff that I keep in that thing that during the course of an 8, 10, 12 hour fishing day, looks like we're having an earthquake, don't it? That's me shaking the boat. During the course of an 8, 10 hour day of fishing, can't tell you how much I depend on that stuff that's up there in that little cubby hole. So I decided I was going to tell you guys about it. Everybody's got stuff, little tools, little, things that you like to use to make your day on the water go a little bit smoother, and to just get you through your day. Just tools, different things. I'm going to show you some of mine. And I got one little crankbait. I've had a couple of questions about, in fact, let's do the crankbait first. This kind of is like a hodgepodge of stuff tonight. I go through the comments and I've had people ask certain questions. People ask me about flat side crankbaits. They want a flat side crankbait, but they don't want to spend a ton of money. You guys know I'm kind of I don't want to call myself a tightwad. I kind of shop around, and when I find something that works, I stay with it. I don't just change all the time because something new comes out. But at the same time, if something new comes out and it serves my purpose better for the way I fish, I'll try it. Back in the day, when I first started crankbait fishing, this was pretty much the only flat side crankbait I ever threw. The Bomber Flat A. And these things will still catch fish. This right here caught me more fish in the Chickahominy River when the water was cold, and even some in the summer. See, the thing with a flat side is everybody thinks it's just a cold water bait, and it's not. It's really not. It just, because of the tight action of a flat side, it does tend to get you more bites in cold water, but it's still a good bait up until the spawn. And it's a good bait in the summertime. If you find an area with bass shallow around pads or grass, and there's a lot of bait around, and you know that's what they're feeding on is bait, you get you a flat side in a shad type color of anything that mimics close to what they're feeding on, and you can catch a lot of fish with a flat side in the summertime. Now, it's a more specific situation than it is in the fall. I'm going to tell you, I finally got a chance to get back out on the water some, and the water temperature, and I got some footage. I've put one video out. That was only a half day on the Trent River. I haven't even finished editing the second half of that day. I'm going to put that up, and I've had another day that I did like a little a 6-hour trip, and as soon as I saw what the water temperature was, I've told myself in my head, you can put everything else in the rod box up, put it all up, because I knew with the water temperature what I was going to catch my fish on. Once it gets below 55, I know I'm going to catch fish on flat side crankbait. You can catch them on other crankbaits too, but you will not get as many bites and you will not catch as many fish as you will on flat side once it gets below 55. For years, This is the only flat side I ever threw. Honestly, I can't remember the last time I've thrown one of them, because I really got into flat-sided crankbaits. This is the only 3 colors I ever had. This was really, really good in the early spring. So if you wanna get you a flat-side crankbait, you don't want to spend a ton of money, because sometimes bait prices. Black Label, I love Black Label balsa. To me, it's the best balsa I've ever fished with. But they're expensive. You're talking anywhere between $18 to $22 a bait. I don't usually go that route with something, so that should tell you how many fish I catch with those things. It's just a confidence thing. Now, I've got other flat sides I've had for years that I've bought here and there that have caught me a ton of fish, and I still throw them on occasion if the situation's right. But for years, this was the only flat side I threw. So now they make another one that was a clear with a little black on it. It had almost like a mirror, like a prism tape in the middle of it. I don't know why Bomber didn't make that one that long. If you see any of those, buy them, because them things, they were money. I can't tell you how many times in a BFL fishing as a co-angler, when I couldn't catch nothing on nothing else, I'd tie that little flat A on with that chrome prism-like finish to it, and I'd always catch a fish or two with it, keep from getting skunked. A couple of times when the co-angler side was really tight, it got me a check. So these will catch fish, and they're probably still less than 5, maybe, I bet they're under $5 each. Last time I looked at these, they were like $4.75. So just, you know, it may be a little higher now because everything's gotten more expensive, but Bomber Flat A if you're looking for a cheap way to throw a flat side. All right, let's get back to the cubby hole up there. All this is stuff that I use during the course of the day, just about every time I go out on the water that helps me. Real magic. I did about a year and a half ago, I did a video where I talked about this stuff. I still use it, man. This stuff, and I tried a couple other things people recommended to me because of the price. I didn't feel like I got the same kind of result with it. This stuff increases your casting distance. It decreases your line memory. If you're fishing in the cold, it keeps ice off your guides. It keeps your line limp and makes your line last longer, especially when you fish with as much mono as I do. And that's what I fish with. The P-Line CXX and Berkeley Big Game. That's the only line I use besides braid on 2 frog rods. This stuff, this bottle's almost half. It'll be time to buy another one pretty soon. Some of this stuff I'm going to show you, if you get gift cards for Christmas and you're looking for stuff to add to your boat or add to your tackle bag, add to your bag you take on your kayak or wherever you're fishing, this is a good bottle of stuff to have. Real magic. Bait fuel. I've always believed in scent. The thing is with this stuff, it don't smell like nothing. But whatever's in it, it works. Again, I ain't got no affiliation with it. I spend my money on it. It's about $8 a bottle. It works. Put it on my jigs, all my soft plastics. And this little dude right here, when they came out with this bait fuel hard stick that you rub on crankbaits and jerk baits and top waters, it works. You see me in my videos, I don't talk about this a lot. You always see me down after I catch a fish or after I've been 4, 5, 10 minutes haven't caught one and I know the crankbait bite is there and it's what's happening. I pull this thing out, coat the crankbait with it. I don't know how many casts it stays up there, but I've seen too many times where after adding this, I immediately get bit. Don't know what's in it. Don't know the science behind it. Again, about $8 or $9. I just know it works. That's all I can tell you. Put this on all my hard baits, and put this on jigs and plastics. I've even put a lot of this on my chatter bomb as well. All this stays right up there in that cubby hole. Spike It Dip and Glow markers, garlic, 4-pack, blue, orange, chartreuse, and of course red. Always keep them up there. Always coloring plastics. I'll take these things and I'll color the bottom of a crankbait. I'll do some of everything with them. They are very useful and a quick way to adjust color and do things on the fly when you just want to try something on a whim, something pops in your head. Spike It Dip and Glow markers, garlic scent. This dude right here saved me more money than probably anything in the boat. This is a plug knocker. You can buy these on Tackle Warehouse. I'll put a link in the description so you can find them. Comes 2 or 3 to a pack, but it's got this big old, looks like a big paper clip. Clip it to your line, just let it slide down the line. When it reaches your bait and you feel it, you just start bouncing your rod tip and this thing will knock it free 99% of the time. I have gotten 6XDs unhung with this thing. I have gotten crankbaits at all kinds of depths unhung with it. It saves me so much money, especially when you're throwing a $22 balsa bait and it gets hung at the end of a laydown in 8, 10, 12 foot of water and you want to get it back. This little rascal right here will get it back. Like I said, I'll put a link to this and the other stuff in the description so you can look at it and see if you want to buy it. And remember, I don't have any affiliation with any tackle distributors or anything like that. I just put a link down so you can see the product, and then if you want to go on a search it, you can find it, and if you want to pick some of them up. This stuff right here is also by Spike It, and this is Dip and Glow, but it don't glow, but it is garlic. It's solid black, and I'm going to tell you why I keep this, and I use a lot of it. There's times when you're going and you're throwing green pumpkin, or you're throwing watermelon, or you're throwing watermelon red flake, or you're throwing any kind of different color of soft plastic, and then sometimes you throwing black. You need black with a chartreuse tail. You need a black with a blue tail. You need you just need a color that you run out of, or a color that you don't know where it is and you don't feel like digging it out. I can take this out and I can take any color worm and I can blacken half to 3/4 of it, and I can make me a black with chartreuse tail just like that. Black and blue, just like that. Any kind of crawl bait, creature bait. If I got a good bite going on, say, let's just say this is an example. I got some of the old, I forget what brand it was, but it's a crawl with the brown and the orange pinchers. But I need black. If I want black and the orange pincher, I just take those crawls and I dip it all the way up and instantly make me 4 or 5 of them just like that, like it's nothing. This black is actually probably the most versatile color of the dye there is, because you can do so much stuff with this black dye, with your trailers for your jigs, with your bladed jig trailers, with your soft plastics. Always keep this handy. Last thing is a good old, and probably about time for me to get me another one. This is an old Bass Pro Shop one. I picked up a Bass Pro, and that's a hook file. Always throwing crankbaits, always hitting your hooks, making sure they got a good sharp point on them until you have to change them. All of this stuff I showed you stays up there in that little cubby. And I got a day box here with other stuff in it, and I'll save some of that for later, for next time. But all this stuff is just stuff that helps me get through my day, and it just makes me feel like I'm efficient when I'm fishing. Need to change colors, need to get spray some Real Magic on my line, on my reels, the bait fuel, the bait stick, the plug knocker, all this stuff are just little tools and little things I use during the course of the day to get me through the day. So hopefully some of this will be something, you know, maybe you're already using, maybe you aren't using it, and you're just like, hey, that's a good idea, something I can try. And this is stuff that anybody can get. If you're a pond guy, if you're a guy walking the bank and you need some, you know, changing colors of your baits on the fly, how easy is it to have a, you know, a little slot in your tackle bag somewhere and just boom, you can make any color plastic you want just like that. The bait fuel, man, there's a ton of pros that use this and they ain't even sponsored by it. When you see a guy on Bass Live or MLF or any other tournament trail who don't get paid and ain't sponsored by this stuff, and he's gobbing it all over his stuff when he's fishing, his plastics, his jigs, and he's taking this and he's rubbing it all over his crankbaits and his jerk baits, and he ain't sponsored by them, guess what? It works. I can't tell you why it works, but it does. So anyway, hope this helps. Got any questions, comments, leave them below. And I will see you guys on the next video. I got some more footage from the rivers, crankbait fishing. They're on the flat side right now. If you're fishing in eastern North Carolina, you're fishing the Roanoke or the Noose or the Trent or the Tar, you could probably catch them on all the baits too. Bladed jig maybe just throwing your jig around, but I'm telling you, there's a real good flat-sided crankbait going on right now. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video.